Good afternoon. My name is Max and I will now share with you in the second video, as I promised, the techniques to obtain passion fruit with this configuration seen here, which I already explained in general in the last video I recorded. So how to do it? Since the passion fruit tree stays like this, it is important that you drive it since you plant the seedling in the final hole. So, the seedling came here. In the case of my plantation, when it was about 30 to 40 centimeters long, 6 months ago, the seedling was led to the top of the espalier by a tutor branch, in fact a tutor wire, which in the case of my plantation was a plastic one. But you can use a nylon or cotton thread, somehow attaching it to the soil and the top of the espalier, so that you can wind the seedling along that string until it reaches the top of the espalier. First detail. The passion fruit tree has 4 types of branches that interest us: the primary branch, the secondary branches, the tertiary branches and the quaternary branches, and the tertiary and quaternary branches are mainly responsible for fruiting. It is where they appear most fruits. Of course they can appear even in the secondary branch. So this here is the primary branch. I've already defoliated it, because as it got older I even dispensed with the leaves. But for it to get here I've been cutting the entire branch. For each bud that appears under a leaf like this one seen on this tertiary branch, you need to pull it out. In the case of the primary branch, you need to prune these shoots, correcting and bring the plant, the primary branch, to the top of the espalier without any buds. When it crosses the upper level of the espalier wire, 5 to 10 centimeters, you do the pruning. The first pruning, you see, this branch has already healed for some time and it doesn't grow anymore. After that, let 2 shoots emerge, or grow, which will be the secondary ones. These you will leave one to the right of the espalier and the other to the left of your espalier. And now you will allow them to grow to the desired point. If the spacing between your espalier plants is, for example, 3 meters, each branch will only be able to grow 1.5 meters. In the case of my espalier, which has a space every 5 meters for the plants, the branch had to grow 2.5 meters. The secondary branch on the left. When it reaches the intended end, in this case 2.5, you make another espalier again, as can be seen here. In the same way on the other side, on the branch that was extended to the right side, you must wrap it around the top wire of the espalier, and when it reaches the desired point, where it is, it's here, I've already passed it to another plant. You does the pruning. The important thing, while it is growing, tertiary shoots will appear. You cannot let tertiary shoots grow. You must cut them off, prune them. You will only allow the tertiary shoots to develop when the secondaries reach the length limit you want according to the spacing defined in your espalier, as I said before. This way you will get a faster growth of the secondary branches and the tertiary ones. When they grow, they will all grow together evenly. Now see, after reaching that point, then you will let the tertiary ones grow and then you will lead them down. Then soon reaching the necessary length, you will attach it to the intermediate wire. Continuing the same to grow, you will attach it on the secondary wire. By the way, on the wire at the bottom of the espalier. Again, an important criterion, you won't let all the tertiary branches grow. We need branches spaced approximately 30 cm apart. The plant launches a tertiary branch under each leaf. If you look closely, you will notice, for example, that here I have a tertiary branch pruning done. Here I have another one. It means that in this interval here that has 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4 tertiary branches. So I pruned them. That is, between every 4 tertiary branches, I leave 2, which gives approximately the desired 30 cm. I leave 2 and prune 2. So it would be a branch that grows, 2 that are pruned, 1 that grows, 2 that are pruned, and then the espalier has this configuration, or rather the plant. And what to do now with the quadrilateral branches? While the tertiary ones are growing, buds will appear under the leaves of the tertiary branches, but you don't let them grow until the tertiary branch reaches about 10, 15 to 20 cm below the bottom wire. This will make the branches' third parties grow faster. During this process there may be the beginning of fruiting, and then you win with that. Let the fruits appear, but the quadrilateral buds you will extract. When the buds, the tertiary branches, have the desired length, then you will let the quadrilateral buds emerge, but observing if they are buds that have buds, like this one here for example. and not allowing them to exceed the maximum limit of the interval between the two plants. Ideally, it should not even touch the neighboring tertiary branch, neither the right nor the left. See that I already did the pruning of the leash. I didn't cut it any shorter because of this bud here, and it no longer poses the risk of intertwining with neighboring branches. My passion fruit tree will always be like this, always clean, with visible leaves, which facilitates the control of pests such as caterpillars, for example, or even PCs. All kinds of pests that may appear will be more visible because they will not have much to hide as very dense, very large passion fruit trees, like what you see out there. And the surface area of leaves being smaller will also favor the fight against pests through pesticides. On my plants I have been using exclusively neem oil and grooming, when some pests appear that we can remove. And neem oil has been very effective. Then you can research about it and you will see that it becomes systemic and creates an internal defense in the plant, applying an interval of 15 and 15. 20 and 20 days and being very efficient in this aspect. I'm going to show you that you might be a little skeptical about this model, understanding that maybe with less, the less the plant bears less fruit. As I showed in the last video, just look at that plant in the background, the 2 or 3 plants in sequence that are at the bottom of the orchard, next to the wall, the amount of fruit that are on those plants. See this plant here, which is also on the street where we are filming. Not only are there many fruits, they are very large, excellent quality fruits, very beautiful. So, also here, see another very loaded plant. Just look at the size of that passion fruit. Look at those fruits. What a fabulous thing. This was the first plant that floated. Its fruits were a little smaller, for some physiological reason, the condition of the plant itself, but all of them planted according to this system that I showed you. If you think you want to leave a smaller gap between the branches, you can also do them, as I did in this case here for experimentation. I left branch yes, branch no, branch yes, branch no. See here, the weaving branches have been cut. The plant is very clean, very clear. Look at this Quaternary, what a beauty. He has 3 shoots. We have 3 potential fruits, and this budding renewal happens all the time. It is very worthwhile to plant your passion fruit assault in this way, or your passion fruit tree, or your at least 2 passion fruit trees, which is ideal if you plant at least 2 plants. And this system can also be adopted, as I said, for barriers. And in the next video, I'm going to show you, even though it isn't formed, how a passion fruit barrier can be conducted, a passion fruit tree and a barrier, following the same pruning method to structure the plant. Here's the tip, and I hope you enjoyed it. Until later.